Hello and welcome everyone to Festool live demonstration. My name is Frank and first of all, thank you very much for being here today and with Nadja together. We
Hello,
want
everybody.
to show you really nice things about the Festool system. Nadja, yes, thank you for the first cut. So
You're welcome.
you work with the guide rail system, with the plunge cut saw, with the track saw.
Yeah,
And
because we have to straighten our tabletop here, which you have prepared the last time already.
exactly, that is the point. Upsala, live. That is the point. You remember maybe I give it here, I do it here to that. So last video or last session, we produced that table and with that organic shapes, and I think it looks pretty good.
Absolutely.
And today we want to show you how you can make in that table dovetail strip, because you need that kind of construction that the table never go uneven, that you have
Exactly.
always an even table. And for that you need these kind of dovetail strips, and how we mount that in,
This will be our first step.
right?
And the second step will be how to even this different height of the two different materials of wood. So we do have two options for today, the Rotex and the belt sander, right? But of course, we want to start right now with the OF 1400 and with our dovetail.
Right. 1400 is the right router for that one. And you know, we talk in the last videos about the OF 1010, and we show the beast. Remember,
The beast
Nadja?
for me, exactly.
The 2200. And now we want to show the people the 1400, and that is the all-rounder. So you have all possibilities to work with smaller router bits and also with bigger one. And the handle is like on the OF 1010. You have the same adjustment, the fine adjustment. You have also all these accessory, what you know from the OF 1010 and also from the OF 2100,
Right.
the pedal stop, and also the adapter for the guide rail system.
That's absolutely true. I like this machine a lot because it's from the weight, it's not too heavy, and because of that you can do all these different things with it. And now we can work with our template system.
Right, and that is the next thing, because really, convenient to work with the OF 1400, and the template is because the OF 1400 that have 70 millimeter cutting depth. So this
70,
is
yeah.
70. That is really convenient, and so we have here two of these samples. One is the MF 400 200 size, and the other one is the 700
Up to
400.
the 700.
Right.
Well, also you can adjust longer ones from 1 meter to 2 meters. So we do have here the 1 meter,
Right? Is
and
that
you
one?
can mount those. It doesn't matter how, but you can mount all of those pieces together if you want to.
For your understanding, we have here these small inlays, for example, where you can also use with that template, that you can make it really flush into a surface. Also, you can make these kind of circles or wheels when you produce something.
Yes, of
Else
course.
you can do
Why
that.
not?
But you know, we have a lot of videos on Festool TV, and for that you have a closer look how
Yeah.
it works with that kind of application. Today is the focus on the application from these dovetail strips. And for your understanding, normally these dovetail strips do you slide under the table in the side, or from the side into the surface, is normally in wooden construction. So the classic version is wooden construction, and this is also really high. But I found on the market this kind of aluminium profile.
And
with
they are really, really nice.
Yes,
And easy to handle.
I hope that works also really, really good,
Yeah.
because inside are also small steel inlays,
Bars,
for
steel bars
steel
inside.
bars
Yeah.
inside for more stability. And you have also here, and you see it really good, these angle what you will find on the dovetail
A
groovers.
10 degree angle,
We have
something
here
like
10
that. Yes.
degrees, exactly, and that is exactly also the router what we need for that kind of application. So we have here the router, and I have it mounted on the OF 1010, and you see here this router with 10 degrees. We use it now for that application. Important also is when you look on this router, the center of that router, there is no cutter. Right, thank you. There's no cutter, and so for that we need, of course, in the center of our groove a small hole, and that is what we want to do with the Forstner drill, and of course with the Festool cordless drill.
For
And
this, we
the
use
T18 is perfect for
this
that.
is perfect for it. It's more than enough power, and this is a 20 millimeter Forstner drill bit.
What I like on the OF 1400 is also this raj system. You remember maybe from the OF 2200, this works also pretty good, and so you can really fast loosen, unloosen the router bit or change the router bit. Good. So the template is more or less prepared. So we have now here the right distance adjusted for this application, and now what we have to do is to bring that template in the right position.
Yeah, we have to find the right place for it.
Right, exactly.
Right. And that we are kind of in the center, of course.
Right.
So we measured here, we have to go 25 millimeters inside to
Okay.
make the groove.
Yeah.
So from
Right.
the measurement from the outside of this, it will be 14 millimeter,
Okay.
14 centimeter.
We can do that. Yes, and what I want to say is that you do that
Bit more inside.
groove, of course, on the back side
Of course.
from your table, 14 millimeter centimeter.
Yes.
Okay, and also 2 centimeter from that position.
Just like that.
Right, and now we can tighten it. And it is also convenient that you have the clamps behind the table, so you have a really flush surfaces here, and the copy ring find in a really easy way the place. And you see this copy ring is also
So
with 2 hooks. Yeah, right. Thank you very much. And this fits perfect together here into my base plate from the router, and it holds really strong together. Good. I will come to the other side,
Okay, then I will go this way.
and
So I
no-
would make a hole right
Right.
now with the Forstner borer.
Can you do that
drill.
here, please? That can I move that a little bit?
And I will build it into the center here,
yeah,
right? That you can plunge in
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Should be enough.
Dust extractor.
Hold on.
And you see here now the hole. And later we will, with our router, go into the hole, because we have to cut it out in one step. This is not. This is necessary to do that.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you have not a really hold with your dovetail strip. The cutting depth is 2 centimeter. That means I adjust it first, my fine adjustment from the cutting depth. So I go down, tighten it here, and then I bring it on these stoppers on the side, the lever. I open it, bring it on place, and then 2 centimeters up, and I can tighten it. So
Perfect.
that's it. A little bit
And
power.
let me give you some power and
Yeah.
some dust extraction. Whip.
And be careful now, because it is a little bit loud. And so we have to reduce the sound when we start with routing.
What?
Okay.
That looks pretty good. Can you release the sleeve? Just clean it a little bit.
With our perfect hand sanding block.
Thank you.
And this hand sanding block is also really clever, because you can mount also a dust extractor here. And we have it in different sizes. So it is fits also perfect.
I don't need that right now.
It's only a little bit. And of course, we worked now with 32 millimeter hoses. And the better solution maybe for that chip is to work with a 36 millimeter. But you see, it works, but you can do it a little bit better with the bigger hoses. So now the chips, we have to do it out. And now we have a closer look how that works now. So please come a little bit closer with the camera. And we want to bring it in. So this is one point, and here is the other one, and now I need only these screws.
There's one.
Oh, thank you very much. And with that screws, I can tighten that dovetail strip in a really good way. One. And here also. And you see more screws, and then you have a really strong connection. Of course, we can change. Of course, we can do that 2 or third of these dovetail strips, so that we have much more stability.
Yeah, it depends a little bit how large the table is,
Right,
how
right.
big the table is.
I
of
like that
course.
because it's really flush, and so you have no issue with with the knees, for example,
Yeah.
when you sit on the table. And of
And
course,
normally it would stays up around about 30 millimeter minimum, right?
more. It depends of you can choose that.
Okay. Good.
So
Well
that was
done.
the application for dovetail strips.
And I think now we have to move our tables.
Right. That was the first step. I have to
Any questions left? I thought it's the English one there.
Yeah, but you can do that. This is no issue. They can do that because we have that on YouTube later,
Okay.
and so it's no issue. So it's okay. I like that with this mobile sawing table. This is really convenient. We
Yeah,
have
it's
marks on the floor.
It's very
George
helpful for
Had
us
to do that for us.
on these live shows, definitely.
Really easy. So
Okay.
the camera can show now a little bit closer, and we have here a lot of small marks on the surface, and you see that is not even enough. So when you come here in that area, maybe you can see that this is not even enough. We glue that together with a PU glue, but now we want to sand that. And the first way to sand that is, of course, to do that with the Rotex 150.
Yes. So it's here. Oopsie. So this is our all-rounder, the Rotex 150, and I said all-rounder because we have a machine with a principle 3 in one machine, so we have 3 machines in one machine. So we can do rough sanding and polishing in the rough mode here, in the geared motion, and also we can go for fine sanding in the soft mode here. So you have really a lot of applications what we can handle with this sander, and also for material like that, especially for this unevenness, I would recommend for a high, it's a hard pad here, so these edges are a little bit stronger, and we can use it really for plain surfaces or narrow edges.
Right.
It's the perfect pad for it.
I prefer that also when you have really small frames, for example, only 7-8 centimeter, that you can also sand these frames in a really convenient way, because when you use the soft version, then you have sometimes the edging a little bit round, and it is not so nice, and the quality goes really fast down. So with that hard pad, you can sand really
Like a
even.
professional, definitely.
Absolutely.
And also we have the gray one. Will be the soft pad. So the material is here a little bit softer, and then you really can go on winding surfaces and curves. So it's really easy to handle it with a softer pad, the gray one. But also, of course, because I was telling you that we can also do polishing with the machine, and this is a special pad without any holes. because we don't need any suction for it. It's a little bit smaller as the other ones because we better can handle our pads for it, our polishing pads. They are a little bit wider, and we don't want to hurt any material when we go for polishing, of course. So this is why this is a little bit smaller. And also for polishing, you can remove the suction hose, the adapter for it. But for now,
better handling
exactly,
when you're polishing.
But for now, we need it to change.
Nadja, I have a question about
Yes.
this structure here. So when you look with the camera maybe a little bit closer, you see here these green channels on the side. You see here a bigger hole in the center. And what does it mean? You have the solution for that?
So it brings air
Okay,
inside.
right. So
Yeah,
when it's
so we-
rotate this pad from the
Yes.
eccentric movement, here the air flows inside.
That's right.
And on the other side comes the dust extractor.
so
And so you have two benefits.
that's right. To make a perfect sanding. So you can work much longer with your paper then. And the pad is, because of this blowing air, I would say, it cools down the pad. And this is always perfect for your abrasives and also perfect for your pads for a longer.
Surface life.
That's right.
Cool.
And for the machine too. So, to change the pads, we don't need any tools for it.
So how we can do that?
So we have to go, maybe the camera can catch this. It's also the rotation mode here, this side, and this will be the eccentric motion. So
in that rotation mode, when the gear is, I hear it,
yes,
right? In that mode, I can change the pad.
only in this position.
Okay, what is the next step? What do you have to do now?
So we have to pull that trigger here,
This is more or less a spindle
yeah,
stopper.
till it's in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just have to open it like a
Like a
Bottle.
marmalade, a marmalade
like
glass.
a
Glass.
marmalade glass, a bottle, or just
yeah,
something
right.
like that.
Right, right.
And as easy as it to bring the other one
Ugh! Okay, it works.
inside.
Super,
works.
super. Okay, and now we have 100
Yeah, we go for a 100
grit.
grit here
Mm-hmm.
because it's there is an unevenness. It's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 100 should be enough.
Mm-hmm. And which kind of adjustment you adjust now? So you go
Of
in the
course,
eccentric?
I will go. No, I will go with the rotation mode
Okay,
definitely.
so for rough
with the
sanding
force
in the
here.
first step.
Yes. So you have to know I used to work as a wood floorer, and of course the floor is always before we sanding, it's really uneven. You really have to make sure this unevenness is getting done. Later I will show you the belt sander, how we can use
That
this.
is our next topic.
Yes. But for this application, and if you have some time, definitely. So it's the perfect thing to work with the Rotex
Mhm.
because it works really good on that one. And let's try how this is working.
So rough sanding and fine sanding. So I saw, I don't know, we talk about these connection. In the past, we have connections on the dust extractor. They are more or less flush. They have no profile. Now we have a profile on these hoses, on these new hoses.
It's like a bayonet.
Right, and so we have a better connection. It is also sometimes helpful when you have, sanding works and you move sometimes with your tools, that the hose are really good connected with the machine. Adjust it on the rough sanding,
Absolutely. And
And
also I go to 6 right
maximum
now.
speed. Then you can,
I will start in the center here a
Mhm.
bit.
okay, the camera can come a little bit closer, that you can see that. Cool. So Nadja, I saw that you switched on the other position here after the rough sanding. So when you had worked, you changed here the adjustment.
If I was finished with the flat sanding,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can use the same paper
Mhm.
for the finish sanding too with the
Mhm.
eccentric mode.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the scratches will be
Mhm.
fine, and then
Mhm.
you really can go for finishing the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Because you have another adjustment on the eccentric sanding.
That's right. So
Okay.
you only can do this in one
Mm-hmm.
direction
Mm-hmm.
while sanding.
Mhm.
Yeah. So from the rough mode to the eccentric mode, you can switch while handling
Mhm,
or
mhm, mhm.
using the machine. But please don't do this in the different way.
Okay. It's like on a car. You can do that in the
Yes.
third, fourth gear, but not other way.
Right.
One time maybe. Okay. So that's really, really nice. It looks really good. But of course, I saw that maybe you have to change also the grid when it's too much.
When it's too
uneven.
when the height difference is too much, like here.
Yeah.
So I would go definitely with a lower grid, maybe with a 80.
80. Yeah.
It should be better and you're much faster.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about faster and a really quick removal, then we should go to our belt sanders.
Now let us look a little bit closer on the belt sanders. And we have two of them. The 75 belt sander and also the 105. And of course, these belt sanders are pretty good to work with solid, with massive wood. The carpentries, they like that machine because, yes, when you have big timbers, you can make in a really fast way, really nice sanding. And Nadja, I know that you come from the parquet
That's
area.
right. That's right.
And when you have massive solid parquet or floors,
Yes.
you do that more or less in the same time. Same way. You
We
work
use a
also
little
with
bit
these
bigger machines, of course, but you have to do a cross sanding
And why you do that?
to make that even. So if you're going only in the grain direction, it would
Mhm.
not help you. So you
okay.
wouldn't. Yeah, it's not possible to get all these
Yeah,
unevenness.
right.
If you work the different way, you will go with the unevenness,
Yeah.
and then you have a nice, I don't know, you want to have something like
Yeah,
that.
I know what you mean.
It's like you want to swing on the floor.
Yeah.
So we really have to go in the
Cross.
diagonal
Diagonal.
way one time, and then the other way.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
after that, we can go straight and make the finish
Okay.
sanding for it. And I think it's closely the same in this
Mhm.
way. So I would do it like that.
If you like. But
And
before we show that, small words to the machine. So you will see on the machine here a green dial, and that helps you to bring the belt, the sanding belt, in the right position. So you have to start the machine, and then you have to find it just here that the sanding belt is in the right position. Also, when you have material, and I have here a sample, like that board here. So this is a veneer chipboard with oak veneer, and you know these veneer are mostly 0.2, 0.34 millimeter thickness, so this is nothing. And when you use these kind of machines here,
it makes like boom.
and then you have a big problem because
right.
normally it's damaged. And for that we have designed a frame, looks like that one, and that frame had here small I know the brushes, yes, and so you can move that on the surface in a really easy way that you can handle that monsters in a really convenient way.
With these brushes, you don't make any scratches
Right.
on the material.
Exactly.
and
How that works, I want to show you in a fast, quick demonstration. And we need a clamp. Can you give me a clamp, because I want to clamp that here. Thank you. And Yeah,
And,
important is that the frame are together with my machine, and I have here in the front holder, and I can click it here together. Maybe the camera can see that. So here's the holder, here are the guides on the side, and now I click it together, that's it. And now I have here on the front a green screw, and with that screw it is possible to bring the whole machine out of that frame. And that is important because now when I switch on the machine is not directly in contact with the surface, and with that screw I can find adjust the contact to my surface. How that works I want to show you, but first of all I need my earplugs because now it's a little bit loud, so please.
and I do need your power cord, please.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Thank you. Oops.
So I have seen you use this park position, right?
Right. So that is also a nice thing. So when you are working and then you have issue with a cable or dust extractor hoses, then you can go here in the parking position and the machine stops for a quick moment, and then you go in this position, you can start again. So this is
Okay.
also really helpful. And you see here you have a really good possibility to sand also these kind of surfaces without
bending through.
damaging the surface. Of course, dust, you produce a lot of dust, and you have to move that in a way that the dust is always sucks up into the dust extractor.
Yeah, but it looks really nice. Just open this.
But now let us show the people how we can, how
Yeah.
we can work with the big one. And Nadja, I think this is really heavy, for your understanding. But if you want to try it,
it's another beast, I would say. But I think I can handle it. You have to know our bigger machines from the flooring, they are
Yeah.
much bigger now, of course.
Yeah.
There is a belt we can use and you can just
Yeah,
jump after it, and this is really nice.
I remember that people told me that you can also sit here on it, and there is there is some competitions with that belt sanders. Please look on the YouTube channels, you will find these stupid things.
But don't do it on your own,
No,
right?
no, this is not allowed with ours, of course.
So I will use now the bigger one, and I really want to do this in this mode that I go diagonal
So in
to
that,
the
that
grain.
way, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need earplugs, and be
Oh, I do
careful.
have.
We have to reduce the volume, the speakers a little bit. And I hold the plate. Okay.
almost done. Now I would go. There's a little bit more left. Now we'll go in the different way. Just a shorter
But
top.
of course, this is really dangerous because when we are only in that area, that we are come not too deep.
Yeah, I know.
So, but now you do that because we have here a little bit overlapping from that beach.
That's absolutely true. So this one, the beach one was overlapping, and this
okay.
is why I just moved only on the beach,
Yeah,
mostly
right.
to keep this a little bit down. And there's a
later
little
you
bit
will
more left.
Sand the whole surface.
And now I don't know if the camera can catch this. Now we have, of course, stripes in this direction, marks from the sanding paper.
A little
And
bit,
to getting prepared of this, we have to go now length to the grain.
Linear.
I can't hear myself with these earplugs inside.
In the linear direction now. Oh, that looks good.
So, but of course, if you work a longer time with that beast.
But when I feel here, this is a little bit finer from the Rotex, and here is a little bit rough. So we have here grit 80, isn't it?
Right.
And here grit 100.
Right. So if you want to go for the end finishing, so
Yeah.
I always prefer to go over it with an ETS or with the Rotex again in an eccentric mode, because it's a little bit
higher grit.
or higher grit.
Right.
For me, it is a little bit easier for the finish sanding, not to working with the power of that beast, but to really to being straight and even. So with this one, you are much quicker as with the Rotex.
Cool. So now we have today the Rotex. We have today the BS75, and also last but not least, we use the OF
And don't forget the T18.
4000 and last but not least, our T80. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you,
enjoyed.
Nadja.
You're absolutely welcome. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.